Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Orale. Like a motherfucking smack addict. And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, yes, indeed, we're going to get back into some Sanho game. We're going to get back into some San Jose things that have happened. You know, things that are happening right now as we speak. Things that are moving and grooving and things that have happened prior, as you can tell by that thumbnail. Yes, indubitably, blood is thicker than agua. Or it's supposed to be in some cases. Anyways, in the Menudo style or direct fashion, we're going to get straight into it, man. Beepity boop, boop, boop. You know how I do it. The Gunners Collective. And in that fashion, Trip. Okay? Now, the hyena that you see right there on the thumbnail, her name is Sabrina. Okay? And allegedly, she's locked up in Santa Clara County right now for a muerto, right? For taking the law into her old hands. And the reason why you see Mr. Cain Velasquez, man, hashtag free Cain, you already know what it is. You see Cain Velasquez on the side of that thumbnail is because it kind of correlates these two cases. Not necessarily in them knowing each other or these cases even being about the same thing. But this is, again, proof that blood is thicker than agua, right? Blood is thicker than water for those of you that don't know Spanglish. Now, Trip, this hyena, Sabrina, she was out partying with her familia. A very close-knit family, very close. Now, the city of Sanjo is made up of several familias, several family members, just like any other city, man, where you have a lot of families that have a lot of good values, morals, and traditions, right? She comes from one of those. And she was very close with her family. So they were out one night, out there on Santa Clara Drive, out there in the city of San Jose. And one of her primos actually gets into a shootout with somebody, okay? Whether it was gang-related or not, that's neither here nor there, and definitely not any of our business. But there was a shooting occurred, right? And allegedly, some vato actually downed her primo, shot him. And so she felt that if for no other reason, she wasn't going to wait to sit there and call the placa. She wasn't going to call 911. She wasn't trying to do all that. She literally jumped in her vehicle and ran this guy over, for which he cannot walk no more, or live, or breathe no more. Allegedly, she killed this guy. Okay, of course. To me, it seems like a crime of passion. And this happens all the time. And people get the game twisted. They're like, nah, she's a cold-blooded murderer. She could have just called 911. She could have did it like a concerned citizen. But when something happens to a very close family member or even a friend or someone that you're just very close to in particular, your mind gets clouded. Your judgment and the adrenaline pumping and all the things that go into it, that time and place and what's happening, one could never make a call on what they're going to do. Okay, you don't know until you're put in that position. And this young lady was put in that position. That position being, fuck that. This dude done shot my primo. Oh, you want to settle the score? At your door? Nope, beef no more. Bang, bang. She jumped in the vehicle and she ran him over. She didn't ran him over. She ran him over, right? She ran him over. And that was it for him. Now, of course, this is an ongoing case. And I look at it as a crime of passion. Do I think it's justified? Do I think she was in the right? Absolutely not. You're never in the right to run anyone over. But this wasn't no domestic issue, meaning this wasn't no domestic violence type issue where the hyena, you know, is battered and bruised and she feels some type of way and she feels traumatized or that she has nowhere to run to or nobody to run to. And so she decides to take the law into her own hands and chop the peep off. This was none of that. What this was a hyena fighting for her familia. She found herself caught up in the moment. And she decided that if for no other reason, blood was thicker than agua. Blood was thicker than water. She was going to rock with her primo no matter what. And this guy was not going to get away with what he did. Now, of course, if the guy was apprehended, he probably would have caught the life beef because he did shoot her primo, or probably 10 to 15 years, whatever the case may be, deciding on gang factors and boop, boop, boop. You know how that goes. But at the end of the day, she wasn't going to go that route. She wasn't going to wait. So like I said, she ran him over. Okay. And that's history. That's water under the bridge. That happened. Now, how it correlates with one Cain Velasquez is this. We also know about the crime of passion or the crime that he did allegedly. This shooting of this guy that allegedly molested his family member. Now, of course, it's the talk of the town, and I've done a prior video about it. And I just wanted to speak on, because I asked the question, man, was it justified? And a lot of people, I got a lot of good feedback. I appreciate everybody that tapped in on the subject. I know it's a big one out there, and I know everybody's opinionated and has a right to voice their opinion. And so I give you the platform to do that and ask the righteous question, I believe. And people tapped back in with me. And I heard a lot of naysayers and a lot of yes sirs, indubitably. And in that fashion, they believed in what Cain did. And there's a lot of people that stand behind him or beside him in what he's going through, his turmoils. You know, he's toiling in that soil right now. But it was a crime of passion. And Do you really hold a man accountable for something that he felt truly, wholly in his heart, he was being wronged? You know, when your family is being wronged, it's just like you being wronged. So I could identify with that. You know, I've been in certain situations where I had family members that were accused of crimes or were caught up, and were actually, beat up, jumped, stomped, shot at. And I knew they didn't righteously have that coming. They caught it behind like another family member, even myself at some points in time, just because motherfuckers were feeling some type of way about me. They took it out on the next closest people to me. Like I was the $100 bill, they were the food stamps, they were damn near, right? They took it out on them. And they weren't responsible for the actions that led up to that, but they felt the repercussions. So I felt that if for no other reason, I should, and bang, bang, come on back with it. A crime of passion or a crime of get backs, one never knows, does one? One never knows if one allegedly occurred. And in that fashion, but it happens in daily life. People feel some type of way. And in this point, just like this Jaina that ran old boy over for her family, she felt that this was the righteous thing to do to protect her primo. So did Cain Velasquez, feeling that this was the righteous thing to protect not only his family name, but the young child that was. You already know what happened to the young child, or allegedly what happened, man. At the end of the day, like I said, too many alleges become truth and reality. And he felt and he knew in his heart more than we do that this is righteously what happened to this kid. And it wasn't a righteous decision on that guy's part. And of course, Cain Velasquez took the law into his own hands and he beat booped, right? Yes, of course, the wrong man was hit. Whoop-de-doo. Casualties of war. I understand that wrong people get hit in certain situations. It's never a good look. It's never a good thing. Nobody ever wants it to come to violence. If you could talk it out with your walk, if you could talk it out with words, then that's always a great thing. But at the end of the day, man, bullets have no name and they happen to hit who they hit. Yes, he's not justified in the fact that he was just shooting into midair and whoever caught one, because there was a whole lot of people that were innocent that should have never got one. But at the end of the day, when that dude's father, who knew his son was accused of weird stuff, he should have spacked on that back like an 8-legged crawdad and did his thing and let his son fend for himself. Of course, nope, that wasn't the case. And now he has a shoulder that does this. And in that fashion, he's walking like, you know what I mean? Spence on la tira. It happens. Cain Velasquez, free him. Now, that's my belief. So, the moral to this video, the content is, crimes of passion, blood is thicker than water. Are you willing to defend your familia to the utmost? Are you willing to go that extra distance for your family? Now, I understand, man, there's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made for family members. Now, if I got a primo, let's just take it for, the wind's blowing. Let's take it for instance, you know what I mean? I got to see a Rinda Cranca. We're going to take it for instance. If I got a primo and he's out there fucking methed out on Scante, just running amok, running around with the bad people, man, doing his thing, and he gets blasted, of course, I'm going to feel some type of way about him, but at the end of the day, everything that led up to that point, I'm not going to say it was deserving, but he caused that. It's a cause and effect type world we live in. You cause some shit, or you're going to get affected by it, right? So when something happens like that, all I can merely do is step on back, right? And watch it unfold. Now, of course, I'm going to feel some type of way. I'm going to remember back when we used to push each other on swings y todo. Oh, my. And we were all happy at elementary school. But at the end of the day, what he grew up and got himself involved in, he now must reap what he sows. Just like I, myself, gun, bang, bang, must reap what I sow in life. It is what it is. I accept full responsibilities. Blame it on the gun. Blame it on the Jews. They got you feeling loose. You feel me? Orale T-Pain. It's all good, fine and dandy, man, said the handyman. But at the end of Candyland, when you win, there's got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser. He lost in the situation because his life didn't turn out the way it was supposed to be. He went down that dark, ugly road, and it got real dark and ugly. Now, in Cain Velasquez and this girl Sabrina's lifetime, they were just regular living people, just doing their own thing, being productive members of society. We all know Cain was training people, man, 2-time UFC champion, just was living his best life, or the life best he can live, and found himself in this situation. You never know when you wake up how the world turns and what changes. Okay, and then I'm sure he didn't think when he woke up that morning, I'm going to blast somebody. Nah, but it happened. Okay, and the same thing happened with this girl. She thought she was just going to go out, party, have a good time with her family, and a shooting it occurred. And so again, next thing you know, she was in a fucking Escalade running people over. It happens. Are you willing to go that extra route for your family? Now, of course, if you could avoid certain situations and not have to go that's always better. It's always if you knew better, you would do better, and that's righteous. But in some instances, in some cases, man, shit happens too fast. Like this shit's going, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going. And you can't think or react quick enough. Okay, when you're caught up in the moment, anything could go down. Bang, bang, ha, 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 like Dino. You know what I mean? You got the CR and the Cranca. Which one are you going to get rid of first? You know what I mean? Anything can go down at any point in time. And guess what happens? In the words of that same vato, pinta ven. You know what I mean? You're going to have to go get active in your function. In the pinta, it's vámonos a la verga. You're done. See you later. Sayonara. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Bon voyage. I'll catch you on the next one on the Love Boat. You're gone, right? All because you made a split decision because you were willing to back up your family. Do I think anything's wrong with it? Charlie. I think life is what it's supposed to be. Everything is faith. I live on faith. I believe everything happens for a reason. It's called karma and shit like that. Everything has a motivation or a reasoning behind it. And when shit happens, it just happens. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. You could do your best to be a productive member of society. Like I said, you could do your best to stay out of that, away from that element and out of their way. But at the end of the day, man, you never know if you're at the flea market as a kid just trying to get a tamale, and then vatos are walking past and bullets start flying, and then you're feeling some type of way because your prima gets hit, and next thing you know, you got someone in the camel clutch. Shit happens. It's part of life. You know, it's called living life. So at the end, blood is thicker than water when it comes to me. I'm a firm and true believer that I don't care what my family is doing. If someone touches a kid from my family or a kid in general, and I know of it or I see of it, and I'm able to participate in the reindeer games, best believe I'm a poor Rudolph, can't join in it. I'm gonna snap his fucking nose off. Bang, bang. Ain't gonna be no motherfucking blinking Spencer Santa homes you can't see at night. It's a wrap. You know, Rudolph done acted stupid. Get Donner and Blitzen. Oh my. You know, I'm gonna be the Grinch and I'm gonna steal Christmas. That's just how it is. But I understand that some people have a thought process, and maybe they're a little bit wiser than me in that way, where they think about what they're going to do before they do it. And that's understandable. You know, I've thought it out too. And I've come to realize that my family means a lot more to me than agua, than just water under the bridge. Okay. Blood is thicker. And I could understand where Cain Velasquez took it. I could understand the reasoning behind it. I could understand why he sits there in the Santa Clara County Jail right now fighting this case. Now, let's get to the gist of that matter, okay? These district attorneys they want to seem to play this one out of pocket. They don't seem to want to give them action at a bail hearing. Hopefully it happens mañana. Tomorrow's Monday, today's Sunday, bang, bang. Hopefully they do give them one. I know people are out there. There's petitions that are flying, man. If you haven't got online, get online and participate in one. If you're very close in that area, you get on the frontline status, get on the forefront, man, and free Cain. I know right here, Gunners Collective, man, I could do the best I could do is rock the narrative, man, and tell everyone, keep your awareness up. Just know that what's going on with this man doesn't seem justified on that account. He should be treated like everyone else. If anything, man, he should be treated basically like they fucking gave the love to this fucking weirdo, okay? Give him a little bit of love too, man. Understand that it was a crime of passion, and I believe it was a justifiable crime. Of course, it's all going to play out. He'll have his time to shine in the courtroom, and we'll find that out. Now, as far as this young lady goes, they're looking at her the same way. Same county, same city, same type of crime. Rather, it was a shooting with Cain, and hers was a drive-by, I guess? That's what you can call it. A rollover, a drive-over. She did it how she did it. It's the same type of similar crime where they did it for their loved ones. They didn't premeditate nothing or plan anything. I don't think Cain Velasquez planned to shoot anyone. I think it was just the heat of the moment. Shit happens. Boop, 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 boop. You already know. And with her, I don't think she meant to go out that night and to run anyone over. That's because she wasn't riding Bigfoot or the Grave Digger. She just decided that for no other reason, she should escalate over this motherfucker once he shot, allegedly, her primo. And she allegedly did that. Bang, bang. In any case, shit happens. Crimes of passion. It's all about our familias at the end of the day. What are you willing to do for your familia? I know myself, like I've said, man, I'm willing to go the extra mile, the extra distance, the green mile, without all those roaches and flies in my mouth. I'm willing to do what I have to do. Okay? I've been in a situation. I'm going to tell you about it a little bit. You know, I had a primo that was actually, he was caught up. He got caught up in a wild case, right? It's kind of wild. But I knew the female involved. I actually was with her tia, okay? So I knew that my primo at the time didn't do nothing to her. I mean, I was around them in that general area, so I know that everything she was alleging or that the placas were alleging and making her say didn't occur. So of course he gets apprehended. He gets picked up on a statutory type case, and I'm feeling some type of way, right? One, motherfucker, if you done did that, you go, $1 million dream. Orale, right? I'm gonna hacksaw Jim Duggan him and hit him with the 2x4. But at the same time, I know him. I grew up around him. I'm like, nah, this is not his character. This is not what he's involved in. He's never been this type of individual. He gets hoes, if you know, like Bo does, right? It's nothing. And so I started to question the chick I was with and her niece. Come to find out, the Blackas kind of basically wanted him. It was all eyes on him. He was out there slanging a little D. They wanted to get him off the streets, so they cooked up this little version of their story to get him out the way. And she was scared because she didn't want to get locked up. And so they pushed into her mentality. Of course, she told them whatever they wanted to hear. And I went crazy. I went ballistic. I was ready to make her a statistic. I literally went, snatched up the father and a couple thieves and told them, man, if they didn't make her get in there to the police station and tell the truth, it was going to be repercussions and actions for her actions. And of course, it all worked out. I was willing to go the extra mile for my primo. I was willing to go the distance and do whatever I had to do because I knew righteously I was not going to let him sit there for something he didn't do. Now, I know it's a much different scenario from Cain Velasquez or this chick Sabrina's case. But at the same time, it's similar in the fact that I had to protect my familia by any means necessary. Now, I could have went a different route. I could have really J-catted out and really went over there with some heat. But it didn't go that route because this was partway, halfway, lightweight, family as well. And we were able to work it all out and figure out and get down to the bottom of it. And of course, my primo pushed on. He's got some beautiful family and he's doing his thing. That girl, I mean, she's 10 to 2. She's getting her smoke on, but it is what it is. I seen that coming. And everyone's living their life how they're living. Now, I just hope it all works out for Cain. Like I said, we stand beside you, not in back or in front of you, man. We stand beside you, proud fists in the air, brown and proud, like it says, brown pride. And you know we're going to rock with you. We're going to continue that push to bring awareness. Like I said, man, if you haven't tapped in, tap in. People are out there really petitioning for this man, and this man deserves it because at the end of the day, man, if anyone touches a kid, what do you expect to do? You lose your mind, vato. And as far as this chick goes, man, I wish I could reach back to her and take the initiative to show her some love. Maybe I will try to reach back and find out exactly what's going on in her case. She might be in prison now. I know this happened a couple years back. I basically got into this case and started looking into it. At the same time, I wish nothing but prosperity for her. I hope that she doesn't get too much time. Now, I understand that a life was lost in the situation. You're always going to get time based on that. But at the same time, man, I just believe that she was out of her mind and she wasn't thinking straight. And all she seen was red, or blue, orale suit, stand up. Whatever the case may be, it happened like it happened. Anyways, man, I hope that you like this. If you like it, man, hit that like and subscribe. If you don't, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy as the head that wears the crown. Remember, at the end of the day, man, it's all about moving fast with a purpose. Going out there, don't go bing, down. You need to go out there in a menudo style, in a direct fashion, and go out there slowly and gradually get it for your familia because they deserve it and you deserve it like no other. If you just kick on back and lay on your ass cheeks, well, guess what? Then be a cheek clapper, man, because that's all you're ever going to be. Get up, humps, and give that shit a standing ovation. Really go out there and get it. You already know what it is. The Gunners Collective. We continue to bring the best heat we can bring to compete with the heat that we already brought. Bang, bang. The gun in that fashion.